Greetings, makers. This is Amy with Soft One Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from down in the Rio Grande Valley, Harlingen, Texas. So today we are turning some simple paper into handmade magic. So grab your supplies. Let's get started. So today I am going to show you how to make this thank you card, and I need some thank you cards, so I started pulling out some of my supplies, and I decided I wanted to use some of my paper still from the Floral Charm. So this is it's an older pack of paper. It is still available, although on Stampin' Up! Right now it says that it's low inventory. But this just has some beautiful floral images. So we have, this is my favorite though of all of it. So we have this, we have these roses, we have this, which is we're going to use this piece today, and this is the back. It has, looks like, I don't know what these flowers are called, hydrangeas maybe? I don't know. It has this paper as well. This I love as well. With the back, this really pretty Timid Tiger. This is the paper that we're going to use today. So just these different florals with the really pretty backs in. This is also real pretty. I love the pretty peacock here. So you can see this is really, really pretty paper. And it is still available right now on the Stampin' Up! Website. So if you go and order it, it's not in the catalog, but it is in, if you go online, you can still get it. We're also going to use the Fabulous Sayings, or I'm going to use the Fabulous Sayings. And just like anything else, if you don't have this particular paper, you're going to use this as a card layout. So use what papers you have. Use whatever designer series paper you have. Use whatever stamps you have. You can make it a birthday card. You can make it a get well card. You can make a sympathy card, no matter what. It's just the idea of using the layout, getting out there, using your papers, using your supplies. So this Fabulous Sayings actually came from, this was the January online exclusive. It might still be available. I know they made, when I was looking at it's not online exclusive, what was it? It was called the Product of the Month. So I was able to get this for $5 when I had a $75 order. And so every month they have something new. And this is an old one, but sometimes if you go back and look, they will still have some of the older ones available. So if you don't like the product of the month that's out now, you can go back and see what's been available in the past. The thing is you can only buy it once. So even if it's a really pretty paper that you would like more of, you can't get it. You can only buy it one time with the product of the month, because you're getting it for $5 for that particular month. Anyway, I'm going to use this to use the thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me tell you what we have in terms of supplies. And just a second, let me pause. All right, for supplies, we need a basic white card base, and this is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and it's scored on the long side at 5 1/2. Okay, so basically still just taking your cardstock and cutting it in half, just cutting it down the long side instead. Okay, we have an insert of basic white, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. We have a piece of Timid Tiger, because it is one of the colors that goes with the Floral Charm, and it is 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. We have a piece of the Floral Charm DSP. It is 5 1/2 by 2 3/4, and I chose the Blackberry Bliss back. I guess maybe the B side, because it goes with the Blackberry Bliss that's in with the flowers that are the Timid Tiger, and it seems like Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so we're going to use that. I also cut out ahead of time 3 circles from that DSP. And I used my retired punches. So I cut one at 1 1/2, I cut 2 using the 1 3/4 punch, and then I cut 1 with the 2 3/8 punch. And punches, these are something that I will never get rid of. I love the punches, and I'm always going to use them. But when I laid them out on this paper, when I initially started doing it, I thought, gosh, they don't stand out as much as I felt like they could. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and cut some scalloped pieces. And so again, I pulled out my old retired layering circles dies because it has all the different scallops that go with different circles. And I found the ones that kind of matched up, were a little bit bigger than the pieces I was going to use. I also cut one out in Blackberry Bliss, okay, because I want to be able to use this piece, one of the circles that I cut out of white. This is also the 1 1/2, which matches this particular circle size. I wanted to be able to do my greeting on there, right? So we have these. This is a very simple card, easy card to get together, because once you punch out your circles, get your scallops if you want them. You don't have to use them. I just wanted something that was going to make my circles stand out a little better. So I went ahead and punched them out. So what I'm going to do, we're going to put this aside because we're going to do some stamping on that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and just glue these to. Use whatever adhesive you have. I'm going to use my green glue or the Tombow, whatever you would call it, liquid glue. And I'm just going to glue it to my scallops. Okay. And then again, just a little bit. Remember, with the glue, you don't need a lot. It is very strong. Okay, you don't want to get so close to the edge that it kind of like seeps out either. So just keeping it kind of close to the edge, but remember, a thin line is just fine. I wish I could remember the rest. There's something about a dot is not a lot. A thin line is just fine, but I never can remember the last part that tells you when you have way too much. All right. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to glue it onto my Timid Tiger, and I want to leave about 1/4 inch on both sides. Okay, so again, adding my glue. And you can use your grid paper to line up your 1/2 inch. And so if I get it on one side, I know I can have it on the other, right? Because I cut my paper that, 1/4 inch, not 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch on both sides. So we're lining it up from top to bottom. It's going to be even on top to bottom, about 1/4 inch. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and give my card base a good crease with my bone folder. And I'm going to glue that onto the front of my card base, and I want about 1/2 inch on each side. So let me go ahead and get some glue on the back here. And I'm going to use my grid paper again to get it lined up on one side. I want about 1/2 inch because I cut it to where there would be 1/2 inch on the other. I'm lining it up so it's even with the top and the bottom of the card. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and there we go. All right. So before we glue the circles down onto the card, let's go ahead and do our stamping on our circle. I want to, like I said, I want some thank yous, but use what you have. Let me pull out this thank you piece. Let me get that out of the way so it doesn't fall. All right, let me grab a block. All right, so I'm going to use Timid Tiger for my ink. And this is the in color from last year that came out. So I'm going to kind of pull it up, the 20, 25, 26. And then I'm just going to stamp it in my circle. And I'm holding it down to let that ink transfer onto the cardstock. Okay. So not rocking. Don't rock. Okay, oh, let me leave this open because we're going to do a little bit more stamp. I want to stamp on my insert as well. So let me get this out of the way. Okay, so what I'd like to do is, the inside was just a little too plain for me, so I am grabbing another. This was an online exclusive and came out, I guess, December last year. It's still available. It's Fragrant Layers. And I thought the flower pretty much matched up the flowers. They kind of look like the flowers in the paper, so I wanted to use it. So let me grab that flower and impression. So get this out of the way. Let me grab a couple of blocks here, turning them over. So what it has is, it has like an outline stamp, and it has a like, I don't even know what you would call it. It's like the color that you would do on the inside. And what I do is I go ahead and ink up. I'm using Timid Tiger because that's the dominant flower. You could use Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in the corner. But now I want to use this piece. But what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it around and kind of line it up to where it matches the flowers the best. Because I can never get it quite lined up. That's not quite right. Almost there. There we go. I think that's it. So then I'm going to stick it. That works for me the best. Okay. Because otherwise I'm twisting and turning, trying to figure out which way it goes. And then I'm going to stamp off a little bit. And I had a piece of paper to stamp off on. That's why I get kind of like a lighter impression inside my flower. And there we go. And then if you want to, you can even color the inside with your blends in order to get that purple that matches, or that dark color that matches inside the piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this insert inside the card. And here we go. Oh, I had ink on my finger, and look what I just did. Oh well, I will either take this out. Let's see, can I take it out? If I do it now, before it's stuck too much, so you can see before it gets glue. So what I'll do is later, I'll go ahead and just replace that because I do want to use this card. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the front of the card. Pretend that didn't happen. It didn't happen. That ink spot didn't occur. All right, so let's go ahead and put our circles on the front. All right, so what I want to do is I wanted to kind of arrange them. This is directional paper, so I want to be careful that my circles, the flowers all go in the right direction. And so I'm just kind of placing them here. And let's go ahead and put thank you on the Blackberry Bliss. And there we go. All right, so what I want to do is I am actually going to, let's put some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm using up this sheet, the edges. So yeah, use it all. Okay, so we're going to do that. This and that. So I'll have one more piece. And so I'm just going to put it up. I'm not going to stick it down yet. So I'm leaving that backing on. But yeah, I just want to see where I'm going to put my other two circles. All right, so I'm going to, because I'm going to glue these straight down. I'm not going to put them on dimensionals, but I want to see where they kind of go with this particular circle. Okay, so if I put that there, which is a little bit over on the edge, it's not, hangs off the Timid Tiger just a tad. This one can go in right there. Okay. And then this one is going to go underneath. Let's go in a little bit right there. Okay, so now I'm ready to take off my dimensional backing. And I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so now on my thank you piece, I also want it to be up on dimensionals, but I don't want to put any dimensionals here because I'm going to have it lay right on top of this flower piece. Okay, so I only want dimensionals on this side. So let me grab that piece, stick it there, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right there to attach it to that piece. Okay. And there you go. That is that is our thank you card that is ready to go and now ready to go into the mail to whoever you like. So I hope you enjoyed this particular layout. It can be used for a lot of different things and helps you kind of use up your, well, not really use up because it doesn't take a lot of DSP, but it does help you get in there and start using your DSP. So just keep in mind, right now we're coming up to the end of May, and that May join if you want to become a member of my team and would like to join and get the new in color bundles with the new magnetic pads. That is available through the 31st, I believe. And so what you would do is you would get your starter kit for $99 with free shipping. And you would get $125 in product that you can choose. You can choose from the new pre-order things that are out. You can choose whatever you like for your $125, but you will get the in-color stamp pads. Now, some of them are not available at the moment. Something to do with the labels, but I'm not really sure exactly what that was that's going on. But if there are some that are available, they will be shipped in your pre-order, and then the others will come to you later. So you would get them all. You just may not get them all at once or at that particular time, but they would come to you, and they would be free. And the shipping doesn't cost you; would be free as well. So that is something that's available through the end of this week. Also, something to keep in mind too, next month, if you order from my online store, $50 or more, and that's before shipping and tax and before you use your Stampin' Rewards, I'm going to send you a kit to make 2 cards with the Winnie the Pooh set that we have. It's not called Silly Old Bear is the paper, and then Sweet Friends, I think, is the name of the stamp set. Sweet Old Friends is the name of the stamp set. And the dies, I think, are Sweet Words and Labels, or the dies that kind of went along with it. But I'm going to send you a card kit to make 2 cards with that, and I'll be showing that later on this week. But that's going to be available if you spend $50 in my online store. Remember, if you spend $75, then you have the availability of the product of the month for $5, And then if you spend $100 or more in my online store, I will send you not only the card kit, but an additional gift as well. And I encourage y'all to use the online store, because when you do, you rack up Stampin' Rewards, which is like basically 10% off of everything that you buy, that you can then use to purchase something in the future. So you can either use it, save it for a long time and let the points, let it all add up, or then you can turn around and just use it on your next order. So however you want to do it. But you do have to choose when you go in and sign up to make an account. You do have to choose that do you want to do your Stampin' Rewards. And I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't know why you would choose not to do that, with getting money back on what you purchase. So maybe that's something to think about. But anyway, I really appreciate you watching my video. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me an email. I'll put it in the description. Likewise, the measurements will be in the description as well. So thank you again for joining me on this rainy-ish day here in South Texas. See you next time. Bye.